Hey everyone, welcome to Thursday. Let me know. Let's get rid of this and get back over to comments. I had to put a cough drop in. So I know, hey Marlene, awesome. So we got Deb Rogers, Cindy, Marlene, awesome. Okay. So just let me know that we're good on the sound. And hopefully the quality will be good. Hopefully the words coming out of my mouth will match my face. So I told Dave, I said, please stay off YouTube. So I think that might have been it. I don't know. All good. Awesome. Thank you, Cindy. So yeah, let's jump in. Because I have a couple things to talk about, remind a few new things, and then I love these projects. So first off, I'm still looking for Trudy Oliver. So Trudy, if you catch this, you were one of the people that commented on my video a couple weeks ago, and you were on Facebook. So I will post again. Hey Peggy, I will post again on my Facebook page, and I'll try to do like the at Trudy Oliver to catch you. But I still want to mail you this prize, so I need to hear from you. Okay. So prize, November paper pumpkin. Hey Barb, awesome. The November paper pumpkin kit is I need to send out a reminder, the picture again of what it is. It's gift card boxes. It's like tiny little boxes that are for gift cards or hey Carol, hey Deb, awesome. That are good for like probably Ghirardelli's and or gift cards. If you don't want to get that kit, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you want to put that on pause for November, make sure you do that by November 10th. I happened to get caught in a situation the other day where I was adding my last prepaid code because I got those back during celebration. So I added my last, hey Carol, we got two Carols, awesome. I added my last 3-month prepaid code, and then I tried to cancel for November because I didn't want the November kit. Well, you can't cancel the first month of your subscription. So even though I've been subscribed for, I don't know, since 2012, whenever they started it, that code I was using was new. So that makes it like a new subscription. So if you're in that same boat, ever, like, don't add your code. And I don't even know if we're still gonna have codes after this. I'll have to look into that because she said, I said, well, can't you just, hey, Jamie Gibbs, I'm just telling people, if you don't want the November card paper pumpkin kit, pause it by November 10th, all right? Because it is little boxes for gift cards. And I was unable to pause mine because I put in my new subscription code, a whole big thing. So anyway, and they wouldn't refund, and I didn't want to refund anyway. I wanted to use it for December, January, February. So anyway, just pay attention when you log into your Paper Pumpkin subscription. Make sure there's no hangups. If there are, call Stampin' Up. So her final answer, the girl I was talking to, was, well, unfortunately, we can't cancel it. So you can either sell it or I forget what else she said, give it away or something. I was like, thanks for nothing. Ugh. Yeah, Jamie, check it. Because I didn't know, since I have to get mine anyway. Does your friend remember your friend was doing like gift cards at Christmas for her in honor of her daughter or something? If she's still doing that, then I will just make the boxes and give them to you. So just let me know about that. Okay. October tutorial, I finally got that done this weekend. And let's just show those real quick. This was all about fall cards. So this is, this year I've been doing a tutorial PDF, so I'm not mailing things out, but as a thank you for any size order. So it doesn't matter, big, small, whatever. Jamie, she moved to Texas. Well, she could still be doing her gift card program. I don't know. So these for no October, it was all about fabulous fall cards. So I used like pumpkins, leaves, fall colors. So this was a real quick I did a frame, like the frame is raised up, and then these pumpkins they're from Party Celebrations, so that was like a soft color palette. Then I went more traditional with cherry cobbler, pumpkin pie, and I think darling duckling. And this one I did embossed resist first, and then I ripped out the middle to make a frame. Then I used leaves to just stamp on some designer paper and make that border. And then I did some die cuts with like all the browns, and this is, what is it, gray granite and early espresso. So that's your sneak peek for this month. So you get that in the email, and then you get a card out of my stash in the real mail. All right, so that is October tutorial. November kits. So we just got an email yesterday, I think, and the November card kits are really cute. Well, the one is really cute. It's got like retro looking trucks and a car. I think it's called Adventure Awaits. That's really cute. But yeah, I've got so many kits. I'm gonna have to think twice. So, November kits coming. Yep. New packaging. Okay. We're gonna go down to the desk now. Thanks, Marlene. And first I want to show you the new packaging. So as of the November online exclusives, all the stamps are photopolymer and everything is coming in this new packaging. So, and actually I had this on top. When I did my pre-order last week, this was from the November online exclusives. If anybody other than me did not pay attention to how big these things are, let me tell you, they are 5 inches and 3 3/4 inches. So these are pretty ginormous. So I'm thinking, and I didn't realize that I couldn't see like this level of detail on them, how there's like little hearts and things, and like scallops. So that's kind of cute. I mean, not kind of cute, it's cute. And then they are white on the back, so you can color these any way you want. I just didn't realize they were so big, because really, look at this. Let's pull a card back in. That's your normal like A2 card, and that's how big the biggest one is. So these be good for chopping up and for adding into your journals and your scrapbooks and stuff like that. So for non-demonstrators, that is coming November 1st. But I thought they were adorable. I like having doilies just because sometimes that's what you really need. Okay, so new packaging. Everything comes in these envelopes that are like 9 by something. Yep, 9 by, looks like 5 5/8. So you open this up, and the stamps are, I already went and put my tear and tape on this because I'm going to show you real quick how people are storing these already so that you can line them up. So let's look at another one. So the old one has like the sheet printed on the cover, so we know where to line up our stamps. Well, we don't have any of that with this, so we got to make our own. So a couple people have done this a few different ways. I am going to do it this way. There's 2 plastic sheets. One is really sturdy and the other one is thinner. So I'm taking the thinner one off. Well, actually, let's just peel these off. So I'm going to put the sturdy one on the back side of this folder, really. So tear and tape, you could use your red line tape, something sturdy. All right, and I'm just going to put it about here. Some people were putting it way up here. I just feel like it's a little bit more stable, closer to the bottom. All right, so get that on there. Then let's peel this, the thinner one off. This is the stampable, right? The stampable image, not the flat. I'm just wiping that off. So what we want to do, now this paper is glossy. So carefully, now this is the only stamp set that I bought from the new catalog. It's, what is this, burlap or lasting linen. So if you had a regular stamp set, you're going to want to stamp ink up everything on the sheet. All right, and then flip this over, press. Open back up, and there's your image, okay? So then we're gonna go, and I'm gonna wipe this down. This seems kind of crazy for a background stamp because it doesn't really matter. But since this is the only one I got, this is what we have to work with. So if you had, like a bunch of stamps, you would be able to line them up. All right, let me fold this. It'll probably make more sense when I get a stamp. All right, now I want this to transfer right on top of there. So I'm going to line this back up. Yikes. I want this straight over top of my stamp. Okay. And then we'll peel this up. And this takes probably a few minutes to dry because it's, like I said, it is glossy. But I'm just going to go for it. All right. Now, again, fold that over. All right. Now, when I pull this up, I want to be gentle, but that plastic sheeting is going to stay right here. And let's just burnish that anyway. So say this was a stamp set, you would line up the stamp set you used and then fold this back over that way so that they would all be lined up again. So that's how people have been doing it. I'm sure there's going to be 5 different ways that people end up doing it. And really, for a background, I didn't need to do that, but I just wanted to show you real quick. All right, so that's that new packaging. Am I going to get all these and switch my stuff to this? Probably not. Hey, Sharon. I'll probably just mix these in with my stamps, because I'm just going to keep the ones in the cases for however long. Okay, so our projects. So I wanted to make some little gifties with some drink packets. So the first thing I'm going to use is the More Than Autumn bundle. And I did actually stamp and die cut my pieces. Oh, here we go. All right. I'm not sure I'm going to use the top, but I did it anyway. So here's the prototype. I want to do something so my friend Beth gave me these spiced apple cider. I've seen these at Walmart for years, but finding the sugar-free ones is hard. I always check at Walmart, and now it seems like the only place I can find them is Amazon. So whatever you can find. Now keep in mind, the measurements that I'm giving and the projects I'm making, they are for these packets. So if you're using something different, like a Swiss Miss or something like that, you'll just have to check the sizing and you may have to adjust, what numbers I give you. Okay. So here's the prototype. This one, I used a 6x12 piece of designer paper, and I want these to be pockets. And then we've got a whole area to write our message in, and then we're going to doll this up. So this was with the Need for Tweed papers, but we're going to make one with some of the fall papers. So what we start out with, and by the way, let's measure these. So these packets in particular are they're 3.5 by 4 and let's say 5/16. Okay, so that's what I based my scoring on. So designer series paper. This is from the Gathering Moments. And I wanted this nice plaid. It's got like crushed curry and gold. And then this nice brown with dots on the inside. So 6x12 piece. We're going to score at 3 3/4 from each end. All right. Let me double check this. Yep, 3 3/4. And let's just go. So 3 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 8 1/4. All right. 3 3/4, 8 1/4. Then you're going to turn it to the right and score at, we want this to be at 4.5. All right, so this is going to give us our like 1.5 inch pocket. And you guys, this is, you're really going to be able to use up a lot of your designer paper too. All right, so let's fold this up. And I'm being gentle when I press this down just because I don't want to like rip my cardstock, especially since it's got foil on it. It might want to rip. If you're really strong-armed with your scoring, you might see that. Okay. Now, do we see where this pocket, like we've got that bend there? I want to cut from this score line up a teensy bit, like angle it in just a teensy bit. All right, because when we open that up, that's going to give us, the pocket's going to stay open, but it'll be at a little angle, which is what we want. And then we'll do the same thing here. Teensy angle. All right, so we're going to have our pockets. And then this part I want to cut off. So I found it easy enough just to hand cut it. You can put this in your cutter if you want. But I was perfectly fine with this. So just cut it right up to that bottom edge of your pocket. All right, this, you can do something with it or toss it. All right, now we're going to put glue just up on the sides at the very edge. You don't want to go too crazy because remember our packets were 3.5 and I scored this at 3 1/4. So it's just a tiny little bit of wiggle room. And I could have made them wider, but I like the idea of having this middle part be 4.5 by 4.5, like just a perfect square. So I made these pockets just wide enough. Cute, cute, cute. All right, we'll put that in there. That in there. All right, for the middle piece, we've got Cajun Craze, and this is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And Basic Beige, this is 4 by 4. So all I really want to stamp on this is a couple of apples. I just get that out of the way. Now I could have used white, but I wanted to tie in some of the Basic Beige too in there. All right, let's do this. Hey Rose, yeah, it's been a while. So we're making a little folder for our drink packets, which I have found these at Walmart and Amazon. Oh, whoopsie. That one popped up. Maybe I should hold these down for another minute, huh? All right. Let's slide that in and fold and fold. Cute. Now we want to keep this shut with some ribbon. So I'm bringing in the Basic Beige ribbon that I have. This is retired, but they've got another Basic Beige. So just choose whatever ribbon you want. And you may want to use Crushed Curry. I don't know. Or Darling Duckling. So I'm just eyeballing however long that is. It does not need to be perfect. All right, I do want to make sure that I have this like the center of my ribbon. So this is cute if you just want to give somebody a little something. And if you don't want to put drink packets in both sides, you can put scratchers like lottery. You can put a thin candy bar, like, you know, since this is a folder, it can be, you know, kind of thick. All right, so right in the middle, and I want to put some tear and tape right there. So I'm only going to put tape on the front part, and then it will wrap around to tie. this right here and burnish that. So yeah, any little, maybe you don't have a drink set, like anything. Anything they'll say like little gift for you or this is for you. All right, so I'm tying that. Oh, I was going to stamp some apples on the inside. You'll just have to imagine I've done that. Because if this bow is going to turn out nice, yeah. That's good. All right, let me trim these. That's good. All right, now for the front, I got crushed curry. This is about 2.5 by 3.25, and I die cut it with the postage stamp dies that I have. So it is a quick gift, yeah, for sure. So whatever, these ones are from Unity, whatever, you know, maybe you don't want a postage stamp, whatever. Pick some layering die. Then I've got basic beige for the inside. And I want to add my little cup. So I chose the words from this More Than Autumn. You had me at, and we're going to do apple cider. So cute. And then stamp some more little apples. So for this, I want to go with early espresso. Even though I stamped this in black and already die cut it, I want to use the brown for this. So I'm going to start with, I kind of want this like hanging off the side. So I need the You Had Me At kind of up top. And I hope that's straight. All right, cool. That's always fun when it gets down straight. All right, and then we'll do apple and cider. And I'm going to put these as close, my head might get in the way, as close to the right side as I can. Oh, and then I want to show you something about these stamps. I love it. And then we'll do apples, apple. Ugh, dot. That's a rotten apple. All right, and then we'll do, maybe we can get one like partial. All right, so that's enough of that. So my stamp in particular, sometimes even with the clear ones, you'll find that they have like a pretty wide edge to them. So let's look at this. Can you guys see how wide we've got this extra that's along those words? Well, all of my teeny tiny words, it was a lot. And every edge was catching. So I did what I do to all my stamps. I trimmed it. Even if it's the photopolymer, you can still trim it. Let's see if that's in focus. So I got right up on the words. Obviously not damaging them, but you know. So don't be shy about fixing your stamps. And if I had noticed it right away, I would have just sent it back as an exchange, but I didn't open those for months, and you have like a 90-day window. So, womp womp. I was stuck with it. Okay, I want to color these in real quick with, let's do cherry cobbler medium. Well, hopefully we can get rid of that dot. And here. So we went to a cider mill on Saturday and we got Honeycrisp cider, so it looks yellow. It's actually good. Too sweet for me, but he has been enjoying it. All right, so this is Cherry Cobbler Light, and it is getting dry. Hopefully this will be enough to get me through. Yeah. And then we'll do a little bit of green leaves. And then I want orange-ish. Most of the time when we see cider, it's orange. All right, old olive. So I'm just going to use this little one color for this teeny tiny little leaf. But you could decorate yours however you want, really. All right, let's do, what is this? Pumpkin pie. And I need a light pumpkin pie. Okay, so old pumpkin pie. I'm going to do the dark first. And hey, Gloria. A dark first. And then we'll add the light. So this is one of the bundles that it was gone to an online exclusive, and then they're going to get rid of it. It's on the last chance list, so I'll be getting rid of mine. I'll just tell you that. Because I can't keep everything. But I have to wait till it's officially gone. All right, so we're putting this here. And this piece was about, what was this? 2 by 2 3/4. All right. Oh, for cute. I love it. I love it, love it. Okay. Let's do some dimensionals. And if you're wondering where I got this huge sheet of dimensionals, I want to say it was from either a paper pumpkin or one of the card kits. Oh, which reminds me, I did get my, oh, I love this. So cute. I did get, when I got those doilies, I got 2 of the Nutcracker kits, tags, and a calm and bright card kit. So I can open those up and show you when we're finished. The Nutcracker, the tags are cuter than I expected, which is, that always makes me happy. And they look to be a decent size, like maybe 6 inches. All right, and 2 more. So yeah, if you don't want to do 2 drinks, do 1 drink pack in one of the pockets and something else in the others. Maybe a little notepad, a little something something. All right, and then let me hold this up so I can kind of get it straightish. And use these plaid lines to guide. Ooh, I love it. All right, I also got these streaked dots. So they are like brown. I don't know if they're saying early espresso or just brown. I'll have to double check. But they are like, yeah, brown with streaky looking, dark brown. So it looks like a couple shades of brown. All the browns are good. You had me at apple cider. Let's do 1, 2. We can cover that little dot up right there. And it looks like there's 2 sizes here. We'll do a big one down here. And then another little one. And these are pretty rounded. So they're not that flat. So like if you were going to mail these, I might add a layer, like a piece of embossed cardstock or something. Gloria, you just watched the Nutcracker video. She's making them as a banner. Ooh, nice. So Peggy, yeah, is that for everyone? YouTube added ID numbers. Yeah, I thought people's names looked different. That's so weird. I'm looking. Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder why they did that. Did any notice go out about that? Or did you have to, like, was there anything like, do you accept these changes or something? That just seems weird. I'll have to comment on somebody else's video and see what mine shows up as. I hope I get a good number. Crazy. All right, so there's our double pocket. So our, let's just open it. Why not? So here's our cider, and then we've got our big 4x4 writing area you know, that was, I was going to put some more apples in here. So cute. That just wraps around and then ties back up. I love it. Now, if you didn't want, I think they have something else, some other drink mix, not cider. All right. So next one, I've had these packets and I got these from Walmart as well, for a year. So I actually had to check the expiration date on them, and they are good until February of 26. So somebody's getting them this year. And then they better not dawdle on drinking them. So I actually got 4, and I'll show you. This is my prototype. So I had to end up cutting this and like putting it all back together. This is one that holds 2. So this is like a folio pocket folder kind of thing. Um, I based it off an idea. I made a folio, like a double stacked folio. So that's what I was going for. So this one, my prototype only holds 2. We are going to build one that will hold 4. Okay. So we open this up and we have this. So these flaps are what keep our cocoa in, right? I didn't want to use magnets. I didn't want to use Velcro, but I didn't want to have the cocoa just flippy flopping around. And, you know, like if you tilted it this way, it would fall out. So I'm like, we need a flap that's going to keep it in place. And the flap, the trick with this is this flap has to be a smidge more narrow than our pocket. But I got you on the measurements. Trudy, you're here. Awesome. Yes, you did. Look at this. I said at the beginning, I was like, I'm going to tag you on Facebook because, yeah, this was like from 2 weeks ago. So, yes, Trudy, I'm glad you popped on. Message me so you can click on Facebook. And I think you can do, you know, like send me a message or something. I just need your mailing address, and I'm not going to put you on any list or, you know, whatever. So I've got an envelope, and I'm going to be putting a card in here for you too. So send me that. Awesome. I'm glad you popped in. Okay. Um, so yeah, this flap that holds it shut has to be a smidge more narrow than the pocket that we're going to build. All right. And then it'll just tuck in. And again, you can put, if you don't want to put these drink pockets, you can put a candy bar, you can put whatever will fit in here. Right. And then that folds up and we'll be able to see it from the side. And cute. So this one I use the Peaceful Garden papers. And then this is Secret Sea, and this is from the Ornamental Christmas. So, and I think I'm going to use that again because I like that 'Tis the Season. So to start out with, and just, you know, we're doing, it's going to hold all 4. All right. So you're going to need 2 pieces. And this time I'm using this Christmas paper that has like all the little bits and pieces because we're going to decorate the front with some of these. And I've got all this cut. So this Christmas pack, which one was this called? I can't even remember. Oh, where's my handy dandy sheet? This one is North Pole Delivery. Okay. And the colors they have in there, it's Poppy Parade. I don't have Poppy Parade ribbon. I have this real red shiny stuff, and it's going to go perfectly well. All right. So 2 pieces for our base, Poppy Parade. These are going to be, oh, and just to go back to this one, I will also put the measurements for the 2 pocket holder, even though we're not going to make that. All right, but you'll get the idea. So 2 pieces. These are 6.5 by 9.25. And we're going to score at 3.5, 4.25. So that's going to give us a 3/4 inch spine, and then 7.75. That does not look right. 7.75. Oh, yes, it is, because we need a double spine. That's where I messed up on my first prototype. This thing needs to be 3/4 times 2, which is 1.5. All right. Woo! All right. So same for this one. Score at 3.5, 4.25, and 7.75. All right, then we need for each pocket, there is the pocket that we're going to build and glue on, and then there's the flap that comes over. All right, and what did I call those? I didn't call them anything, but pocket and flap. So for the pocket, I've got 4 pockets, so 4 pieces. These are 3 1/4 by 4 7/8. So on this long side, let me drag this down here so we can see. We're going to score at 3/8 and 3/4. Turn it to the right. Same thing, 3/8, 3/4. Turn it to the right, 3/8, 3/4. And we're going to do that on all of these. 3/8, 3/4, 3/8, 3/4. So this is going to give us like a box pocket. Sized again, precisely for these cocoa packets. 3/8, 3/4. I must start it on the wrong side. 3/8, 3/4. But hopefully once you see how this comes together, you'll just get whatever packets you can, and you may have to adjust your measurements. 3/8 and 3/4. But just so you know, I was at Walmart last week and they do still have these again this year. 3/8, 3/4, and then 3/8, 3/4. All right, deal with those. Now our flaps, so the part that's going to come down over, we've got 4 pieces. This is 3 1/16 inch wide by, no, 3 5/16. I'm looking at the wrong thing. 3 5/16 across and by 5.5. All right, and we're going to score again, same measurements, 3/8 and 3/4. Because again, we want that same edge. Like we want it to be the same size as our pocket, same width. So 3/8 and 3/4. And 3/8 and 3/4. And last one. 3/8 and 3/4. Okay. So cutting these pockets is going to be the most critical. All right. So let's do this. We'll put these pieces right up here for the pockets. And I would really only cut one at a time. We want to cut, so we have down here, let's just draw this out real quick. We have, there's a marker. So just pretend, so this is the edge of our paper, and these are our score lines. So we want to make this like a little tab, and we want to cut this off and all this on every corner. So we need this part, just like we're making a box, because that's really what we're doing. We need that intact, but this part out here, we don't need that. So since we don't need this, I'm going to cut right there and then angle a teensy little bit. All right, and then come in here, and I'm cutting to the right side of that score line. And realistically, we could use that whole tab, but it's too much really. So let's just cut it down and then angle this a teeny little bit. Okay, so that's what we have. This little teeny tab is going to, that's all we need. So same thing on this. Let's cut to the side of that, angle teeny little bit. And we don't need that. And then angle just a smidge. We don't really need to angle the bottom part, but so do we see how that's going? we need those little tabs. All right, let's cut 2 more. I really shouldn't cut 2 at a time, but no, I'm not going to. I don't want to wreck it. All right, so I'm going to start on this side this time. And then angle that little one, okay? And then turn it around, cut the bottom. And I hope this is not going too fast. And then it's in camera. All right, so we've got our tabs there. Let's push this over. Teeny little bit. This reminds me of like a book of lifesavers, even though it's like a double fold over. But just the idea of having a whole little book of treats. And again, if you don't want to do drinks, don't do drinks. Drink mixes, put whatever you want in there. Ooh, what about, do they still have those cake mixes? It was like a cake mug or something like that. I haven't seen them in a long time, but do they still make those? Because that would be interesting. I will tell you that there will probably have to be the way I came up with these boxes being 3/8 of an inch like thick is based on the actual cocoa. Like I shook it out so it was even, and then I measured how tall it was, and that's how I got to 3/8 of an inch. So if they do have those cake mug mixes, I'm sure those have a lot more stuff in them than these hot cocos. So that might be that would need to be wider than 3/8 of an inch. But next time I go to Walmart, I might have to check and see if they have those. All right, so now we're just going to fold everything in, and we're basically going to build these boxes and then glue them into our base. So see here, we're basically going to be, well, let's just do the first one. So we're going to glue this bottom up first using the tabs. A little bit of glue. Hoping that that glue will come out. Yep, oop, too much. A little bit of glue. So just like we're making a box, but much smaller pieces. All right, so let's bend this in and up. We want a nice, tight, crisp corner. So see how, oop, we don't want our cardstock hanging over. We want all edge to edge, nice. So I got to hold that there for a sec. You saw them and there are 4 packs to a box. Okay, Cindy, you're talking about the cake mix? Awesome. I'm glad you saw them. So was it in like with the other cake stuff? Because I have to go to Walmart again this weekend anyway. So I might as well check on that. This is hanging over weirdly. All right. Because that would definitely be cute. All right. So hopefully this is going to hold. So I like to put this bottom flap in first, and then we'll add these. I found though, to keep everything like nice and straight, bring in your scoreboard. Okay, it's going to help us. This will be like a T-square. It'll help us keep this straight and this straight. So I'm just going to push that in, put a tiny little bit of glue right here. All right, and then push that down, and I just have to hold it for a minute while it sets up. Yeah, mug cake mix. Yep. I think that would be really cute. Although those, maybe 2. Maybe do a double, not a quadruple. Because then you got to give them some diabetes meds. All right, and then this same principle, I'm just shoving it up in the corner to help keep it straight. And hold that down. Cute, cute, cute. All right. Oh, it's hard to get my fingers in here because 3/8 of an inch is not very big. All right. So that's our box, like our pocket box, really. We're going to take glue on these 3 sides and glue it right in. All right, so let's do our, let's do these ones. I probably could have done these ahead of time, but for some reason I thought, oh, it'll go quick. Blech. And actually, let's do 2 and see if that will be enough to make the point. Because I think it will. All right. So that's that. Same thing. We're going to fold these tabs in. And I'm going to do glue. And pull that up. So if you wanted to use glue dots for this part, I think that would be fine. But gluing it into the actual book that we're making, I would definitely use glue. I would not use glue dots. Or tape for that matter. But that's my choice. I just feel like the glue is going to be a better hold. All right, let's do that. Yeah, and we'll see. We'll get to the base next. All right, and then we'll bring this back in. And hope these are staying good. Okay. Add a little bit of glue right there. And hold that for a sec. Second verse, same as the first. Exactly. Yeah. We'll do the 2 pocket boxes, and then you guys will be able to figure it out. All right. And let's do that. Hold in place. Oops. I went off camera. So yeah, I'm just using this as a guide so I can keep all my corners straight. Because you don't want like the sides caving in or being, wobbly. Okay, so let's go back to our base pieces. We scored these the same. And let's just do all our folding. And give me my bone folder. So yeah, 3/4 inch spine on these side pieces, and then we'll have a 1.5 inch spine for the inside. I love it. Yeah, when I was thinking of this, I was like, I'll take the double folio idea that I had and just figure out how to add 3D pockets. All right, so see here, this is going to be our side. This will be our spine. So we want to take these 1.5 inch pieces and glue them to each other. This will make our center spine. All right, and you just want to get it up close to the score mark, but not right on top of it, because if you get right on top of it, it won't open right. So hopefully I can show you. Oop, and that course didn't want to go straight. Okay, so can you see how close I have that? It is right up to the fold. So it's not going to impede opening this. And hopefully, okay. So too far away and it'll be, it won't close nice. Cause like right now, when we close this, it's going to close into a perfect rectangle. Ignore the fact that these are going whatever. The pockets are going to keep everything in place. But so this 1.5 inch spine here, 2 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. All right, so that is perfect. Okay, let's add our pockets. Now this should be flush on the top and bottom. So if anything was hanging over, now's the time to trim that off, but it's good. All right, so our pockets. This area here, this panel and this panel, all the panels are 3.5 inches wide. Our box is 3 3/8 inch wide. So that is, it leaves just a smidge. So I want to put these as far down at the bottom as I can and within these score lines. All right, so let's just do a dry fit. Make sure, yep, it's fitting. All right, cool. So glue on all 3 of these sides. What are we going to call these? It's like the pocket pieces. All right, so I'm just lining up. I don't want it creeping over the bottom of the box. And I want it within the scores, all right? Because that has to bend there and that has to bend there. Okay, perfect. So can you see how close I have it? I know it's hard to see like color, red on red. It is right up to the score. Same thing over here. Glue that down, then get your bone folder and get down in here and try to burnish that and be careful, all right? Because we don't want to pop it off of. Oh, you know what? Was I supposed to? Oh, no, I wasn't. Whew. I did not put designer paper on the back panels. So we just do it on the flap and on the box. Okay. All right, next one. Let's put it on this side. And same thing. This should be, yep, that lines up. And I want to keep everything kind of the same, like how far away it is from the bottom. Because that'll just look weird if they're not. All right, so I went a smidge up and right at the scores for the side. All right, let me hold that in place for a minute. Not a minute, who are we kidding? A few seconds. That's all we need with this glue. All right, now let's put our flaps on. So we had the 4 pieces, and again, we scored them at 3/8 and 3/4. So that's going to give us the same height here that we have here, up here. So since this pocket is 3 3/8, that's why I cut this down to 3 5/16. I wanted it a 1/16 inch smaller so that I could slide it in here. If it was 3/8, 3 3/8 inch, the same width, that would be difficult. And nobody's going to notice a 1/16 of an inch, like as far as the papers. All right, so we fold this, and then we're going to add glue on this bottom flap. And flip our folio upside down, and I want to fold it right here. This edge, I want to be as close to the top edge as I can get and in the center. Because I want it to flip into that pocket nice. All right, that looks good. Is that hanging down a smidge? All right. If it's not perfect, it's fine. All right, now let's just see. Perfect. It's going to slide, it's going to tuck right in there. And then we'll do the same thing here. And again, add glue. And then we're going to fold it so we can add this edge to this edge. All right, and if you go a smidge down, that's fine too. Okay. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that looks kind of crooked. It's gonna sit there. Okay, cool. Flip it around. Now let's add our designer papers before I get too far into this. So for the pocket pieces, I just did them all the same. And these were 2 1/4 by 3 1/8. So 2 1/4 tall by 3 1/8 wide. All right. And if there's a direction to your pattern, pay attention to that. So I kind of wanted these envelopes and all this because it's kind of like all over the place. All right. And then, all right. I don't want to press too hard, but I do want to give that a little designer paper for these flaps. Now this one I chose 1, 2 different patterns. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Ugh. I wanted these envelopes. So like those and these. So 2 different prints. I'm going to put these ones on now. And you could have 4 different ones if you want. I just wanted them to be like 2, 2, like same. And these are 3 1/16 by 4 1/2. Now, if you don't want to go the 1/16, it's not critical. That's what I meant earlier, where like people aren't really going to notice a 1/16 border, but that was just me being a weirdo because I can. And we've got the 16-inch marks on my cutter, so I might as well use them. All right, that. Flip it over, burnish. All right, love that. So now, look, it tucks in perfect, and you just flip that in. So cool. I love it. All right. So the idea is we would have another one here and here. And let's see. So see how you have room? So there's room on this side for a whole nother pocket. So these will meet together. If you want to cover this up, like add a piece in here, designer paper, or a piece of embossed cardstock, you totally can do that. But this will fold up. Oh, perfect. I love this. Okay. For our covers, I was going to do these on the inside because you're going to see these when you open it up. So 4 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I just wanted this grid because I wanted another pattern. Oopsie. Oop. Yikes. All right, that was going to go crazy. Like not line up. Okay. And then we'll do this one. And then we're going to add ribbons because we definitely need something. We need ribbons to keep this closed. And we're going to add ribbons before we put the designer paper on the front and back covers. All right, that's good. Okay, so you see that? And if you wanted to doll this up, you totally could. Oh, Peggy, you're funny. You can't type tonight. Yeah. Oh, that would be really cool to make them for your son's office people. All right, so that's going to go there, and I'll have the same thing on the back. Some people, when I've noticed they're making like their scrapbooks and journals, they like to have different pieces on the front and back. I don't like that. I cannot stand it. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, because that's how I am. But I like them to be same. All right, so this, I want to get 3 1/4 and 3 1/4 because I want my ribbon to be in the middle, and this is 6.5 inches long. And I'm going to come in, let's see, 2.5, 2.5. All right, so I'm going to start my ribbon here and go to about there. And that's going to be like that. All right, ribbon. And I want some of this. Let me flip these out for just a sec. So you want some tear and tape. And we're going to go like this. Oh, wait a minute. It's like in the middle. And like here. Okay. Sometimes I might do, if I was going to do a mini album or something more permanent, I would also use some Fabri-Tac, but this tape is going to be fine. So I want, however long this is, I'm just eyeballing, 12, 17 inches. Okay. Whatever, however much ribbon you want. I'd rather have a little bit extra to tie the bow and not have to wreck it. Now with this red shiny ribbon, it is shiny on one side. So let's flip that over. So this side is a little bit lighter. So that's how you can tell. All right, so let's add this right here. Okay. And then same here. Yeah, I think these, Peggy, these would be really, once you assembly lined stuff, it would be easy. And especially if you decide to do like the 2 pocket, that might be less work, you know? All right, so same size, this designer series paper, same size as the other, 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. I'm just going in the center-ish, yeah. All right, and then this piece. Super cute way to also use plenty of your designer series paper. Mix and match from different packs. Like, get creative with it. Okay, I love it. All right, so we will fold this all back in. Now, I didn't cut anything for this side, but I think I will. I need to go back and do that because I want something there. But look how perfect this meets up. Ugh. I cannot stand it. All right. So let's have, so just when I look at it this way, this is what reminds me of the Book of Lifesavers. All right, let me put this. So 17 inches may have been a little much, but I'm not going to cry about it. I was eyeballing anyway. All right, let's get this. Oh, yeah, I like that. All right, now once the other packets are in here, this will be not as loosey-goosey. So for our, we're going to do real quick our front piece. So I'm going to do a little stamping, and then we'll add some of these ephemera bits. All right, we'll pick out, I probably want a house. Maybe I can have one animal. Oh, that's cute. All right, let's do the stamping first. So I want Ornamental Christmas, which remember all the cling stamps are going away. They will be on the last chance list come December 1st. So of course the 2 of the sets that I got this year are cling, but I like these. I like this tree. I like that tree. I like both the trees. And I like this Merry Christmas. So that was it. All right, so this is Garden Green, and this was from the Spotlight on Nature dies, and then a 2 1/4 inch circle of Very Vanilla. So I don't want like green on green. So we're going to go with Poppy Parade ink. And get that right in there. Perfect. And I'm not going to stamp the stars on it. I'm just going to leave that. Let me do that. Glue this. And what doodads did I pull out? I didn't pull any out. All right, let's glue this on. Oh, for cute. All right, I'm going to glue this flat. And then I'm going to pop up whatever ephemera bits. And that looks straightish, right? Okay. So let's do a pile. That's not going to fit. I don't know that the animals are going to fit. Unless it's, oh, this cat. That could be cute. I like the idea of either one of these big envelopes. Oh, yeah, I like that. I was thinking, or one of the houses, but the houses, I didn't use the houses in any of the paper, so that decides it. I'll do 2 envelopes. Where did I do? This one, and then we'll do maybe a little post box. No. This. Okay. Perfect. We could pop that up, but I think I'm going to glue these flat. You like how I just changed my mind? Excuse me. I feel a whole coughing thing coming on. All right. I love this. This is going to be interesting to take pictures of, but you will get it. Let's do some of these vanilla antique pearls. All right, let's do 1, 2, and 1 do right there. We'll do this little one that had wanted to escape anyway. Whoopsie. Little one, medium, and big. So there's 3 sizes of these. All right, get over there. Oh, and I flipped the sticky part right off. All right. Jeez. You know what? I'm taking that glue dot and putting it right in the trash. And then I'll just add a smidge of glue. Perfect. Okay. So, you guys, this is so cute. Perfect. It will definitely line up. And I will take a picture too when I get add the other pockets, and you'll see like this, it'll be all 4 lined up. And that will stay in nicely. I love that. It's the season. So, and then the 2, remember, I will give you the measurements for these because the base pieces, the pocket and the flaps were the same, but it's the base pieces that will be different. All right, so there's that. And then we'll bring in our little, our cider packet. Let me just retie this. So I thought these were cute for, give your peeps a little something. And again, whatever you could fit in this little pocket. Lottery tickets always work. Although the lottery went up here. We figured that out Tuesday night. Okay. All right, so that's that. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, Jamie, had a little coffin thing. Thanks, Anna. Okay, let me make this small and this big. So next week, remember, Sharon sent me those little the bags. They're like little treat bags, gusseted treat bags, and I'm gonna do this same kind of thing. So this is a vertical, it's called a vertical paper bag album. Ugh. So each one of these pages is actually one of those treat bags. So, I mean, I made this like 3 years ago, but same principle. Well, it'll just be smaller. So, little mini album next week coming, and I may have to do like a video ahead of time to get the base, like the spine and the covers and the hinge, like get that part done first, just so that we can deal with showing how the pages go in and putting them together. So I may do that. Depends if I have time. But I will definitely be using the floral charm papers, which are like folly, flowery kind of colors. So I love it. Awesome. Okay. So let's see. Let me check my list again. Was there anything else? Yep. Next week, vertical paper bag. And again, the measurements that I'm going to give you are only applicable to the packet, the drink mixes that I got. So, and yeah, I'm definitely going to go and check for some cake mixes. Now that Cindy said they have them, because I think that would be cute too. Ooh, and that might be cute. They won't be the same size because I'm thinking, oh, like 2 cake mixes, 2 drink mixes, but they will definitely be, they'll be different. So I don't think we can mix them, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. So thanks for hanging out, you guys. Oh, wait, I wanted to show you real quick these, the kits if you want to see them. All right. So, and I just want to take a minute to do that because I can hear him banging on the stove down there. That means dinner is going to be ready in like a minute. All right, let's look down real quick and make that bigger. Okay. The nutcrackers. So I believe the nutcracker kit is already like it was out of stock and then it was back in stock and it's already like low inventory. So this makes 12 nutcracker tags. Cute, right? And the size looks to be very decent. So this is no stamping on this. It's all just assemble it. Ugh, let me get this out of there. So we've got adhesive, we've got baker's twine. These are the cutest things ever. All the little nutcrackers. And look, we even have a girl this time. And like they're not all white people. So that's good. All right, so these are a little bit less than 5 inches, and then they layer. Oh, and look at these hats. Oh, this is like the paper dolls where you could like change stuff. Oh, that's cute. So we'll be able to add different hats if we want. I love it. So they layer on these long tags, and these are about 5.5 inches long. All right, I love that. All right, so then we've got some holly that we can put on them, and ooh, so this is gold and sparkly. Believe in the magic of Christmas for you. Cheer to last the year. Oh, okay. And then they're in some different languages. So I like that. And I always save the chipboard for making little books. So 3 of these. Okay, I got it. So there must be 4 greetings. Yep. For each sheet. So cute tags. I got 2 of those. Probably do something for one of my teams. Now this is the Calm and Bright card kit. So this is an all-inclusive card kit. So it's got a stamp, it's got an ink block, it's got the adhesives. It probably even has a clear block. Yep, it does. Lost Lagoon, and the ink or the stamp set. So we've got all is calm, all is bright. Merry Christmas. Ooh, I like that font. Okay, I'm happy with that. Sending joy from our house to yours. I like that. I always struggle for the inside of our Christmas cards, like what to write, because I don't like to write a whole bunch because I'm usually last minute. All right, so see here, we've got like Bubble Bath and Lost Lagoon. Ooh, I love it. This is weird. Oh, this is the one that they said the instructions have a different ink color, but it is Lost Lagoon. So like this was a misprint. I think it shows maybe with gray granite or something. I don't know. All right, so ink block, baker's twine. Let's just pull out the, oh, and these envelopes look watercolory. Adhesives, panels that we're going to stamp on, I'm sure. Different panels. So these envelopes feel kind of like linen, like they're a little bit textured. Interesting. Ooh, and these panels have definite texture on them. So I guess these are the card bases or something. Oh, all the card bases are textured. Okay. Can you see that like crisscross? It looks like linen. Hopefully. Rose, you need a stamp that says from my house to yours. You're right. Single people do. Oh, and here is this. Nice. I do like that they give us those. And then all the, oh, so I like this color palette. The pinks, and then the deer are die cut, the ornaments are die cut, the pink houses. Cute. All right, I don't know if this tissue paper is just to keep stuff separated, but I'm not gonna throw that out. And then different label pieces that we can stamp on. And then some more die cuts. So, ooh, and these ones are like pearlized paper. So shimmery stuff. So I like that. All right, so 9 cards. Little house, little holly, blah blah blah. Love it with the ornaments and then a pink poinsettia and then the trees with the deer. So cute. I'm glad I got that. That's gonna help me get more of my cards done. So that's that. I just wanted you to see those. And yes, Jamie, non-traditional, like my favorite. All right. So again, thanks for hanging out and good night. I will catch you next Thursday and we're gonna make that book. So yeah, thumbs, hearts, shares, all the things. Awesome. Thanks, Cindy. All right, you guys. Thank you for hanging out again. I'm really hanging up now. Bye.